Turn me up a little bit, man. Y'all know who this is. Yeah, too fast. I love you, but I love her too. Two sides of my heart split in two. She's laying on my chest while I'm texting you. Calling her babe while sexting you. But I want you at the end of the day. At the same time, just want her to stay. Our history ain't no mystery. But I love the way she be kissing me. Eyes light up like a Christmas tree. That's a sure sign she been missing me. Word on the street, she sneak dissing me. Telling this, that, and what you did to me. Yeah, you fucked my bros when we separated. But I still took you back like I never hated. Other Grammy shit that you did. I thank God you ain't the mother of my kid. So I sent you on a trip, then I slid down to my other girl at the crib. We spent time that I truly fucking miss. Now I look at the stars and I wish for the Lord of above just to show me. Do I choose you or her as my soulmate? I'm dizzy from the skirt cell when I rotate between you and her. Need to clean my glasses cause the vision's not clear. Yeah, I told you live, but my intent sincere. Why you over there, baby girl? Come here. Look me in my eyes, open up your ears. I'ma choose her, cause she really cares. Would you finna cry? Listen to them tears. Go and dry them up, cause I don't really care. Yeah, I'm not right, but life's not fair, bitch. I tell you lies and it's just so toxic. You lie, I lie too. Girl, I don't love you. You know it's lies when I say it's just you. But don't be mad, boo. I once believed too. First, let me make this clear. I ain't never needed you and probably never will. Broken heart, I inherited without a will. Say it doesn't make sense, but take it as you will. Quick to leave, just repeating what's been done to me. Trust shot, love bad, ain't no chance for me. Fuck love, so I fuck her and I fucking leave. Turning over new leaf, say that shit for autumn. Even if I change my ways, I get done the same. So fuck it, I'll be toxic, yeah, I'll play the game. I don't want you, but I'll fuck you, my lust, boo. Say you love me, but you hate me, pick a side, boo. I won't judge you cause your heart got two sides too. Pretty face playing dirty, so I slut her out. Doing stupid shit for memories. You know you're not a friend to be, but no, are you my enemy? Depends on all the energy we vibing, or just let it be on guard. It don't mean shit to me, cause if you leave, I still could breathe as you see. Used to people leaving, so that's fine with me. And I'ma keep it stepping like 1, 2, 3. I done make up on mistakes, and that's all on me. Try to play the victim, but you wrong like me. I'm just matching the vibe, how to blame on me. I discovered disguise, now you mad at me. I tell you lies and it's just so toxic. You lie, I lie too. Girl, I don't love you. You know it's lies when I say it's just you. But don't be mad, boo. I once believed too. First, let me make this clear. It's the DNS Soldier.
Co-host Sharon Lewis.
And this is Robbie Too Fast. Thank you for tuning in to the Two Sides of the Heart podcast live, because we live, baby. Yeah. Tonight, we got a special guest, okay? She hails from Talbot County, you feel me?
False already. Fake news already. And I'm going to get on her. I'm going to get on her neck about that one. Continue. I apologize.
You feel me? You know, she's been private sitting and nursing forever and ever. Please welcome Sharaya. We're going to add it to the stage now. Yeah.
Woo woo.
You got to turn on your audio. You got to turn on your audio.
And second of all, you do not hail from Talbot County. Let's get that off the grid.
I ain't never said nothing about no Talbot County.
That's what he making up stuff. See, that's what I'm saying.
See?
All right, so if y'all don't know, episode 23 of the Two Sides of the Heart podcast will be dropping tomorrow with yours truly, Sharaya. So, Minister Lewis, you didn't already watch the episode, so we want to have your take and everything, and just, you know, let us know how you feel.
You know, my synopsis. No, first of all, you know, I always say I'm proud of y'all. I'm a fan of Two Sides of the Heart. I would say this episode was nothing shocking because the guest is someone that I've known all of my life. I met her like when I was 2 and 6 days. She stole my birthday month, but we're not even gonna talk about that. And she's a real one. And I know she caught Soldier off a little bit because he was like, man, yo, where'd she come from? And I think I would say this in general. A lot of people think they know Sharaya, but they mistake her for somebody else. I don't know who they think she is, but she is the most giving, trustworthy, loyal person that I probably know. And we wipe your tear because this is a once in a lifetime. I'm glad I'm recording it. Like we are literally each other's best friends. I don't trust nobody else as much as I trust her. She know where the bodies are, so I have to trust her, and I have to tell her, you know, she know where the bail money is. Yeah, I mean, overall, the content, the interview went really good. It was just like we were sitting somewhere in her living room, like. It was just a conversation. I'm laughing. I'm like, oh gosh, I can't believe she said that. But you know, I'm not. I can believe she said that because I know how she is. I just think when you talk about two sides of a coin, Sheree and I are more alike than people really know. I just smile more. That's it. I can look at her and say, and I can look at her and give her a look. Well, I mean, that's a Black woman thing, anything. But I know what she's thinking. She knows what I'm thinking. We're probably thinking the same thing. Like we was in these streets together. She was doing a little bit more than I was, but like we was cutting up together in them teenage years. So
she went.
I just like I said, my face is too long for me not to smile. So I just smile more, and I'm a little more pleasant. I give people the benefit of the doubt. And most of the time I get hurt behind that. But she reads people quickly and she'd be like, they ain't right. And like, as she says, it's not a matter of her not smiling or her being a kind person. That's just how her face is. I have a picture of her. It's not in here. She was like 4. And it's the same face, except she got a bigger head now. Like I'm in the picture like with our parents. I'm just, happy about life. And she was happy too. She was just like, whatever, come on, take this picture. But anyway, I was definitely looking forward to the episode. It was supposed to drop earlier, and I had to send an email to management like, let's go. Let's keep moving. And for the record, Idris is not her baby dad. So I'm going to leave that there.
Why would you say such a thing? You starting off the podcast wrong.
I think the first thing I want to talk about is not to start it off on a sour note, but just the passing of Mama Pokey. I know, Mom, you talked about not really knowing what's going on, not really knowing like what was going through her head. So maybe what was going through your mind, Mom, and then now to know what was going through her mind, like just your thoughts on that.
I mean, like she said, when she told me, it's not like I was shocked. Like we're talking early 80s when our mother had a stroke. And like, it wasn't, you're talking about a Black woman in the medical field, early 80s. They really, guinea pigged her. Like, oh, well, we're going to try this. We're going to try that. We're going to try all these medicines. We're going to try all these kind of things. And so by the time, our mother lived a full life. She flew, she went to different conventions and stuff. She achieved her goals. One of the things that she wanted to be was a teacher, but then she got pregnant with me. That's a whole nother situation. But she did, she became a substitute teacher. She got her ministerial license. So, I mean, she was very accomplished and she's definitely one of my heroes. So honestly, I was just of the mindset of, yes, I believe God could heal her. But I knew that if he chose to, he's sovereign and he's still good. And so I just had to come to that acceptance. I'm not saying that it was not, I was mad because I got a list of people that he could have took. Like, listen, they just huh?
Can I call the names out of the people he could
No, we're not naming names tonight. No, but no, I'll wrap it up. I just thought about, and I still think about often, like, her not being there for y'all's graduations, her not seeing my first grandchild. Like, I think about things like that now. Initially, I was mad at the world. Like I was, because when she took sick, and then we had to make the toughest decision of my life. We were at an event talking about a family reunion. And then I was mad at everybody. I just thought, what did the doctors miss? I was on the line to do a kidney transplant, and I just think her body was tired. Her body was tired and it gave out. And so you have to accept that, whatever that grief looks like. Like she said, 2 or 3 years, holidays, Mother's Day. Mother's Day still sucks, by the way, but at that time I had 4 sets of eyes looking at me, so I had to be like, okay, let me eat this on Mother's Day. Let me eat this Pop-Tart and applesauce that y'all brought me. Oh, gee, thanks, everybody. This is great. Where's my mom? I want to celebrate my mom on Mother's Day. But I have to take it for what it is. And you all have been, you all were old enough to have memories about her, to have your own memories. So that to me, and we keep her alive. And I hear her when I talk, when I sing, and she's behind me looking over my shoulder. What y'all doing? Yeah, that's my answer.
Ray, coming from Talbot County to then doing what you do now across the bridge, like what's the biggest difference? And would you go back to Talbot County if you could?
Heck no. Yes, no. Listen, I go back and forth. Ever since I've been up here, I went back and forth. Like, should I just go back? The rent up here is high. Everything's very expensive. Nobody trusts you because they can't track you. They can't trace you. They be like, what's the Eastern Shore? What's that? I be like, well, you know where Ocean City is. Everybody know where Ocean City is. But if you say Fredericksburg, they're like, what? It's like being in a whole other continent. So I miss the community part of the Eastern Shore. I miss being known. I miss seeing familiar faces. I miss that part. I don't miss the schools. I don't miss the low wages. So it's both have their advantages and disadvantages, but I'm not going to say I would never move back, but it'd have to be a nice little salary, nice one, putting it out there to somebody who might be interested. Nice one.
So do you got anything?
Not right now, to be honest. I can't really talk too much on the passing of, someone that significant in my life. I've had people close, but so it's like, I can't really relate too much on like that part.
So from first meeting Mom Ray to then doing an interview, like what's the difference and like, how do you kind of feel? And just, talk about that a little bit.
I mean, like, to be honest, I don't like see her in that much of a different light. Like, it's more like my suspicions were confirmed because you could tell how a person talk and it's like, oh, you got a little fire in you. All right, but then like actually, oh, okay, this is what you got hidden in the back. This is what was on this. I knew it's still like crazy to think about, like, because it's a lot of people like that actually is chill, or they just be like, you don't think they got it in them. Whole T, hey, they was laying that to them way long ago, and they just learned how to chill back and control it, to be honest. So it's like, it's good to know. I can call her up, hey, come handle this. But other than that, I'm not too surprised. I'm not especially that being Miss Sharon, like that's your sister. I see how you are. I know you got that fire hidden back there, so hers can't be too far back.
Tell him, soldier.
So speaking about that fire, I got it from my mom's perspective. I need to get it from my Reyes. Talk about the time my mom got arrested.
Oh, that's where we going.
Oh. So here we were. Sharon and I were hot tailing. See, I don't believe in, I don't tell her, I don't play a whole bunch of games. So her and I were hot tailing, and so we was in this apartment that was nobody lived there. And did we break in, or was it open, or what?
It was open. Okay,
I think the guys had opened it and was trying to make it their love den or whatever. So we was up in there. And Sharon had a man in there, and I had a man in there.
Literally men, because I was only 16, and they was men.
Yeah, so that means I was 14. Okay, yeah, put that out there. So we was in there, and to my knowledge, I don't think nobody was having sex, but we were still in property illegally. For whatever reason, me and the guy I was supposed to be with left, and Sharon and the dude was left behind. And I guess because it was so much in and out, somebody must have called the police, or maybe the police had to be walking around or whatever.
What happened?
And then and then there was like a knock at the door.
Now she can't stop laughing. She can't stop laughing.
There was like a knock at the door. I came back home, so I'm just thinking Sharon probably 10, 15 minutes behind me. And yeah, Sharon had been taken downtown.
Into custody. There I was.
Yes.
Wearing
And
those
we
nice
got
silver
call.
bracelets. A few days after Christmas. How about that? Like,
And everybody was like, the phone rang, and back then, we still had the phone. We had no cell phone. The phone on the wall, but the cord like 20 feet long, so you can take it like from the kitchen all the way like up into your bedroom type situation. And I remember the phone rang, and back then you used to be pressed because that's your only source of communication. So whenever the phone rang, you'd be like, "What? Who? Is it for me? Huh? Because you ain't have no other way to talk to your friends." And I don't know who answered the phone, but one of them adults answered the phone, and their faces just dropped. And like, Sharia, where were you and Sharon? I was like, oh, we was, I don't know. I probably put a lie in there somewhere. But like, well, Sharon's been taken into custody. Oh, heck, Sharon's arrested? Dang, well, where was you at? We was around there with Pookie and them, and then him and I left, and Sharon and dude stayed behind. I thought she was right behind me. Well, why'd you leave her there? Because I thought she was right behind me. You know what I mean? Like 10, 15 minutes. But it was crazy. It was crazy. And Sharon, so they had to pack up and go down there and get her. And she came home looking like she's just the saddest little
mud
face
on my face. It was nothing like the show Cops that they portray. It was nothing like that.
Oh man, it was crazy. Because we're all like, yo,
because I'm the good one, right? I'm the good one, remember? Sherelle was the hellion.
Listen, don't let her fool you. Sharon did very little compared to the rest of the pack. She did very little. Her sin list is this big. Mine is as tall as this building.
That's not
Don't
true.
let her fool you.
That's
Okay?
not true. That's not true.
Listen,
Anyway,
but Sharon was, out there with thug lifing and abandoned buildings.
And then come to find out the dude was like 22. He had drugs on him. I was the snitch. That's when I started being the snitch. They was like, well, he had some paraphernalia. Where'd he put it? Over there in that bush. And that bush on the left-hand side. No, go 2 feet, 2 feet that way.
Yeah.
No, because it wasn't mine. You're not putting that charge on me. Trespass it. Let me go ahead and do these community hours. And that'll be it. I had to go to court and everything.
I remember why I left you. Like, I don't even know why I left you. That wasn't even I don't know what was going on that night.
I can't even remember them people's names. Because you had sex. Anyway.
Hot tailing.
So,
Minister Lewis, were you in the car when Mama Pokey crashed the bus when Aurea said that she was pregnant?
In the car, wasn't I, Sherelle? Or did I actually take the bus home?
I think you took the bus home. For whatever reason, I stayed after, and so I jumped in the car. I'm a kid, so I'm just like, so she's like backing up. So I jumped in. I was like, this is a good time because she's backing up. She only has the use of one hand, and that hand is on the wheel, and she's got to back up. This is a good time to spring the conversation because like she can't really hit me. Or like, you know what I mean?
No,
yeah.
I do remember. That's all right, Sherelle.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I may not have been in the car for that, but I do remember when Sherelle told me she was pregnant. Like, I remember that vividly. Like, I was on the bus We had left from school. I guess she had got the pregnancy test at the nurse's office, and she comes
Yes.
skip to my loo up to the buses. See, Colonel, the buses wasn't back where y'all used to take it. The buses used to come all the way up that drive, and so like bus 32 would be the first bus, and then 34 I think was right behind it. I still have dreams today about missing the bus, but that's a whole nother conversation. I'll talk with my therapist about that. But anyway, so she just came skipping out, got on the bus, was like, "Hey, I'm pregnant." What? Like a ponytail and bangs. Like literally, I'm looking at my little sister like, what is happening? And me and my dumb self, I was like, so who's gonna carry this baby? Because her 14-year-old body is not. When I tell you Sheree was little, Sheree was like the size of Olivia, maybe even smaller than Olivia. Like I was like, what the heck? What is this about? And so yeah, to see that all play out and how the church handled it, how our family handled it.
How did the church handle it?
They wanted her to marry the guy.
They did immediately. There was a whole meeting about it.
Oh man.
They frowned upon her, but the thing is, Sister Jackson, who was probably 50 around the time, had a 34-year-old child. So let's do the math here, sis. You were a teenage mom too. So what's happening? Like, let's not try to make plan. Like she already has made a decision and has no clue about the consequences of that decision. And now there's a child want to come in the world. How about you offer some critique, offer some encouragement, guidance, some good solid scriptures to help her raise her child in the way he should go. But hey, listen, you can say, look at me now. Look at me now.
I want to talk about that real quick. Like, especially because me and Soldier talk about that, about how like the Haitian church, they're very frowned upon, you know, and they be doing the same thing, and then tomorrow you doing it, and now they want to talk crap about you. And I could say the same thing about our church, where like, you know, it's just, I don't think I was there, but it's like no earrings, no lipstick. You can't go to the basketball game. Like I just heard like my somebody under the description, they were like, "Are you ready to go see that movie? Him? Demonic. Don't watch it."
I'm not
And it's like,
not gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. 'cause I
Right,
like
but
football.
but that's your personal. Those are your personal convictions. There are, and I know at some point we probably gonna talk about more about church or whatever. But there are central themes in Christianity that are non-negotiable. But like how you dress, how you wear your hair, like the Lord is not concerned about, you know, if I wear locks versus I get a perm or like things like that. I just need to represent Him fully in, you know, in other ways and in my speech and you know, other ways like that. But what I'm saying is there could have been more kindness showed. And I will put that like that. Next.
Sheree, have you ever had a moment where you were able to be that pillar for somebody that was a teen mom?
I try to do that now all the time after that, since I started the trend of the Caroline County teen pregnancies. Apparently. So I always tried to tell girls then, and I try to tell them now, like, listen, it's different now though. Back then it was not at all acceptable. Now it's just one of those things. If someone is 15 and pregnant, no one bats an eye.
There's a show called 16 and Pregnant, right?
Yeah.
The whole show.
So I try to encourage them. I try to give them tips that I've learned along the way. I try to just be a listening, what do you call it, a sounding board for them, because it's hard, and especially the guys today, and not all guys. Let me say that, not all guys, but fatherhood itself is just not the same as it used to be. So there are a lot more to me, and I don't know the data on it, but single parent teen moms than what it was back then.
Soldier, how would you react if your daughter came to you at 14 and told you she was pregnant?
14.
Yeah.
So whenever and hopefully whenever I have kids, I'm going to try to be different from how I was raised up. So even if the situation sounds crazy, I'm gonna try not to explode or like lose my top off rip. I plan on raising kids that can articulate themselves and that are emotionally intelligent. So if that situation happens, I'd probably sit down and just have like that talk. Okay, so wait, I need shit because because like it's gonna be so many questions running through my mind. Because it's like if I didn't know that she was getting jiggy, I'm gonna be like, damn, since when? Like, not now I'm be baffled. But that's not even what's important. But I know that's what's gonna be on my mind. I know not. But I mean, what can I do? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put my hands on her. I'm not gonna kick her out the house. It's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna ask her what she want to do because there's we got to form a plan. Now, of course, there's gonna be some type of discipline or something because you just can't be hot in the ass like that. But I mean, shit, raising a kid, that's discipline on its own. That's hardship. So you feel me? That's on you, Becca. But other than that, I feel like I'd be a supportive, upcoming grandfather. But I'd be I'd have to talk to this little guy, but I'd have to give it some time because I might put hands on him if I see him off it. Now, if it's a situation like he's older, I'm going to put hands on the guy. There's no talking. There's no nothing. I don't care if that's the father of my grandchild. I'm putting hands on him, and that's just what it's going to be. I won't kill him, but I'm putting hands on him. Other than that, I can't say we'd go on living, but we'd go on living, to be honest. I'd do what I can, things of that nature. I might call you, bro. I might call you crying. They got her. They got her. But other than that, bro, like, the way I see life, bro, I'd just be like, damn, and just help to make sure that she's as prepared as she can be, but also in a way, like, where I'm not, like, doing it for her. I still want her to learn and face the consequences of action, but I want her to do it alone. But she has to bear most of that weight because it was a decision you chose to make.
All right, how would you feel if Simon got somebody knocked up in the next month or two?
Being as though I've experienced it myself, I think we would definitely have to sit down. If he told me that, we would definitely have to meet with the girl and her people as soon as possible. What are next steps? Is she, because this is, it's her decision, it's her body. Okay, do you plan on keeping this baby? Because I even though I would want her to, that would be her decision and her parents' decision because they are teenagers. No one's buying for themselves. And then if she decided that's something that she wanted to do as far as keeping the baby, well, then we need to figure out a plan of, okay, the baby's coming when? Let's go ahead and get to the doctor. Let's go ahead and finalize some things. Let's get a date. Mm-hmm. What are we going to do about supplies? What are we going to do about spending time? Right, let's get a DNA test off the top because I don't want to have to fight you in court 2, 3, 4 years from now. As soon as the baby comes, let's go ahead and knock that out. Just get some things established so when the baby gets here, there's an understanding. Everyone knows what role they're playing and what the expectations are. But I mean, I couldn't be mad. What could I say? How could I be mad about that? I would be mad, but how could I blow up about something that I've done? You know what I mean? So just be like, okay, this is what it is. Let's do what we got to do.
So, Minister Lewis, what was your first impression of Uncle Sam?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I call them sweets. My first impression was like she has said, this was just some jump off dude. It wasn't gonna be too serious. Hey, how you? And just I would speak, he would speak, keep it moving. It was something, and knowing Sharia, it was something about him, like that hardness, that where he wore his clothes, kind of, with how he wore his hair, like it was a
straight thug. He was a straight thug. I mean,
that's exciting to her. Right.
He wore Tim's every day. He was ready to fight any moment. Like he'd be wake up like, "What's up?" Like,
yeah. Like, well, It's all good. But then when I was it like was getting serious, and I was like, yo, what's good? Like what's going on? And I've come to really respect Sweets. I won't give away anything from the interview, but I've really come to he has been consistent. He has been the same since I've known him. We keep a joke going, so it's all good.
Let me jump in here real quick. So listen, it was the thugness about him. It was like, because when you're young, you stupid, and it just was always excitement going on, and he had some things going on, and I was like, oh, that's exciting. We out here living. It was like Bonnie and Clyde in this camp. And then he wasn't from here. Didn't nobody know him and stuff. So I had to worry about hearing him nothing about him. And then he had this banging body. His body was sweet. Listen, sweet. I saw that thing. It was like, yeah.
What is wrong with her? What is wrong with her?
Listen, yeah. So it was never supposed to be. It was like she said, it was supposed to be a little situation, little hookup situation. I call you, you call me, and then God dang it, here we are. Like, what was that? 20 years later, and I'm like, nigga, you ain't left.
Nope.
I'm about to say, I wasn't here for this, but my favorite story of Uncle Sam is when he punched that dude so hard he spun around and broke his leg.
First of all, that was crazy, and I don't want to be insensitive because the situation was serious. So let me get my laugh off. The situation was serious, but let me tell you about the Lord. This, like 10 minutes prior, I had said to him, Samir was probably about 3 or 4 months. I had Samir strapped to me. I had a Winnie the Pooh strap thing that you put the babies in. I can't think of what it's called now because my children are too old. And I came outside and I said to him, hey, yo, I got a bad feeling. You should come in the house. It's a summer night. It's hot. It's a lot of black folks outside. It's going to be some junk that pops off. Literally, I said that to him. He's like, nah, everything's good. Everybody chilling. Nothing's going on. I went back in the house. I went in the house 15 minutes, and my cousin Ty shows up with his shirt off at the door. And I was like, what is going on? He's like, Sam got into a fight. I was like, I just left from out there. Like, where's your shirt off? What is happening? It was like craziness. And I come outside, and there's the gentleman, rest in peace to him, laid out, and there's people around him, and there's a whole bunch of commotion, and the ambulance is coming, and people are scattering, and I'm just like, oh, heck. I just literally said to you, dude, like I had a bad feeling about this. Come on in the house, and you didn't, and so then the police show up at the door, and I would never forget it. I was like standing there like, what? And the officer walks in like, sir, never forget it. You're going to have to come with us. You were named in the altercation, da-da-da-da. You're going to have to come downtown. So I was standing there stunned, like I got a brand new baby. Like I got, I'm just trying to figure out what's happening. And he's like, so we're gonna have to take you in. So go ahead and take anything out your pockets and stuff. And if you got, I'm gonna turn my back to you in case you got something you need to take out that's like illegal. I was like, it ain't nothing illegal in here because I didn't want you to try to set that stage. I said, you can. He gonna hand me his keys and a little bit of money he got in his pocket. There's nothing illegal in here because I just felt that was real strange for him to say that. Why would you say that? Like, it was really weird. And then he was gone. And then he called me a couple hours later and said, come pick me up. And I was like, I told you to come in the house, yo. Like, you gotta listen to me.
Moral of the story: when your woman has that gut feeling, just listen. It may not make any sense at the moment, but just listen. We have that we have those intuitive feelings for a reason.
I just want to know if it was a good reason or not.
Oh,
For the fight.
Yeah.
So his mother is deceased, and at that time, it was still very fresh for him, and the person said to him, "Your mother is something." I think he said, "Your mother is a bee or something."
Oh, Delta ass. What you talking about? Excuse my language.
And so he just, and yeah. And then he hit him, and then he poked him. The guy, I think the guy poked him first, like, "Your mother's a and did like that, and he just, and then that was it.
That's
That was it.
southpaw.
He hit him and spent him, and that guy was, he was damaged, and it was a bad situation, and I hate that it got to that. It caused a great division between that family and myself, and it just caused a lot of confusion because people would try to take sides, and there was no side. It was wrong all the way around the board, and it eventually, by the grace of God, we was able to beat that charge. But for a minute, it was crazy. It was the unknown of what was getting ready. He was facing 25 years.
25 is crazy.
Because that's your age, right?
I mean, I'm 26 now, but good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
was
that.
crazy.
Moving on.
We didn't talk about this too much in the episode, but I did want to get your perspective on it. Having a child that is has a learning disability, when you found out that, like, what was going through your mind, and then dealing with that, because now he's technically an adult. How was that? How was that? How was that?
Immediately that he had some type of disability, and I started advocating for him about it, but no one believed me because they were like, "Oh, your other son is 12, and so it's been a while since you've had a young child around, so you just don't realize how spunky boys are." And I was like, "No," I was trying to tell the doctors, like, he literally doesn't sleep. He's like, he never walked. He got up from crawling and ran. He never had a walking phase. He ran immediately. So he was like 1.5 years old, jumping off of furniture, like doing random stuff. And then he wasn't talking. And then his teeth took a long time to come in. It was like several things that were happening. And I was saying to the doctor, like, something's off about this boy. It's so, and I was like documenting, and I was showing them the things that I had video of the things that he was doing. He wouldn't sleep. Like I said, he wasn't talking, the no teeth thing. And they're like, "Oh, it's just been a while because your other son's 12 and you just don't know how kids are." So for the first 3 years of his life, it was nothing short of horrible. It was horrible. It was terrible. He got put out of several daycares. I lost jobs. We didn't really have any peace. We couldn't go anywhere because he wouldn't sit down. He was fidgety. He was underneath the table. He was loud. He just could not be contained. And so it was a very difficult time. I did not have the support of his doctor, which made it even worse. I had to, in order to start receiving support, I had to go behind my doctor and go to Johns Hopkins and say, "Listen, there's something wrong with this boy, and I can't get my local doctors on board with it. Start some testing, please, because I'm not going to be able to sustain and live if we're getting kicked out of here and there and everywhere." And then, the daycare started talking to each other like, "Hey, listen, if it comes to you, say no, because he's going to run you ragged." So it was initially, those first 5 years were terrible. Around 3, after begging, pleading, and bringing all my documentations, notes from daycare people, and just I had videos. The whole thing is when the doctors at Hopkins finally convinced the doctors in Easton to put him on a small dose of ADHD medicine. I mean, the dose didn't even really count. It looked like a pebble of sand I was putting in his mouth, because they were just so afraid to even, because he was so young, and they usually didn't have to put children at the age of 3 on medicine. They were afraid that there was going to be some type of something would happen, and they didn't want to be held responsible. So, but Hopkins pressured them enough, and then I had to get Kennedy Krieger on board too with it. That the two of them pressured them enough that they convinced the local guys, because they was going to make me come back and forth to Baltimore with him like a couple times a week. Who could do that? So once I got the local doctors on board, and we just took it very small baby steps. For the first 6 months, the medicine made no difference in them, because they were doing it in such small increments, and they didn't want to titrate him up. So it was just waiting. And then finally, when everything started coming together, we had to change medicines, and it's just been a whole thing, man. This is not for the weak. This is not, people. I hate when people joke and say, "Man, I did so and so because I have ADHD." Bothers me. Like, don't joke and play about it, because it's very serious, and it just changes your whole way of life. We've had to turn things around so many types of ways. He wouldn't sleep. We'd have to go out. We had to give him a bath and then drive around for like half hour, 45 minutes so he'd go to sleep, and then come home and leave him in the car, because if we picked him up, he would wake up, and then he'd be back to running again. So we had to leave him in the car. But we was in the country, so I mean, who was going to take him? The deer? Nobody wanted him. Trust me. So we left him in the car for hours, and I guess now that would be child neglect, but that would be the only way he'd sleep. And when he was asleep, we shut the whole house down. Hey, say nothing. We just all be sitting back like this. Don't wake him up, because he's gonna wake up and start running and doing something simple. So yeah, it was crazy.
One thing I would say is I have watched Sharaya become her children's finest advocate. I know about every IEP meeting. I know about all the specialists, all the testing. I mean, we talk every day as if we just didn't talk 15 minutes ago, but like it's taken a lot. I know what it's like to advocate for my children, but when you as a mother know that your child is a little bit different and a little bit, I don't want to say abnormal, but just different from other children. And then the fact that he is a Black male in these here United States, that's another load of pressure.
That's
another load of pressure. I know you didn't go there, but I can go there for you. It's okay. Because just one of the things that she talks about all the time is, one day she's not going to be here. Lord willing, that's a long ways off. And how this current country is going, I feel like we're in the bikini bottom somewhere. But how this country is going, and how Black men have just always been viewed. Like when I look at my nephew, I see that little face. I see him in that picture with him and Simon, and he's posing like this or whatever. That's who I see. But when other people see him, they see this. How tall is he? 6'2", lanky fella with the beard coming in. Like he's the usual suspect. And so to have her in your corner is probably the best thing. But you don't want to bump up against her either, because she takes a lot of notes. She is sharp in the meetings. She has her own advocate. Shout out to Angel. She has, people. She has surrounded herself with people who have also been part of the process, in their own lane. So don't sleep on it, because she comes with receipts, literally.
And I'd like to say this to the people out there who are like in denial. Let's start there. There are a lot of people like, oh my son or my child, because it's girls too. I don't want to give them medicine because da 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 da. Went through all of that. Oh my gosh, it was, I don't know what might happen. Is he going to grow a second nose down the line? Like anything can happen with medicine because it's medicine. But so you go back and forth, and anyways, to sum it all up, put your child on meds. Do not have them in this school wreaking havoc. The teacher can't teach. They're all underneath the desk. They're painting on the backboard. Like it's not fair to the other students to have your child in there acting crazy. He in there acting crazy. She in there acting crazy, but you don't want to put them on medicine because of your own feelings, your biases, something you read in a magazine, all of that. It made the world of difference. Looking back, if I wasn't able to get him properly medicated, I'm going to be straight honest with you. If I was not able to get him properly medicated, if I had to make the decision to do it, I think we'd all be crazy. And I say that of all seriousness because we were lacking sleep. We were lacking jobs. It was so much involved. It was the teachers were calling. Like I said, the daycares were like, you got to come get him. He can't come back. Effective when? Today. That was it. They were done because he was uncontrollable. So as a parent, you put the camera to me. Put that baby on meds and quit playing around.
What is that? What's that hard breath for?
Because I just think about my memories of Simir when he was younger. And like, I'm a kid too. So you kind of notice like, hey, yo, look, like you doing a lot. And then now to just see how he is now, like, me and Simir talking, he'll call me at the day. He was like, what's up, man? He's just mellow. He's chill. Unless you get hyped about something.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I just want to put this out there. Apostle Weems came to Pastor Hill's church in Hurlock. Apostle Weems asked, did anybody want prayer? And then he's a prophet. And he was talking about different things. And I took Simir up there because, Simir used to listen. And I was, along with seeing the doctors and the therapists and the private school, I tried everything. It's just still sometimes he would override this medicine. And I took him up for prayer, and Apostle Weems said, as a revival, he said, I want you to get a case of water. Bring it tomorrow. I'm going to pray over this water. And you're going to take him home and bath him in this water, right? So initially I was like, okay.
A case of water, dude. Okay.
So, but I said, okay, well, what? I didn't try everything for this boy. What could I do? I didn't try everything else. So I went and I got that case of water and I brought it back that next night. And he prayed over that case of water. I took him home that very same night and I threw him in that tub. And I was slinging that water like the Exorcist. Listen, you're going to be together in Jesus' name. Get yourself together. And
he's crazy.
And he was sitting just like, he looking at me like, what the heck? It's not warm water. It's not like it's a hot bath. So it's like I'm just splashing his face, his hands all over. And that made a difference. I'm telling you, like that really made a difference. From then on, it was up. It was up. It was the prayers, the doctors, the therapists, and this case of water. And everything was just lining up better. I'm telling you, like, I just want to throw that in there and give the shout out to the people. Yeah. That definitely helps.
Hey man, if they think prayer don't work, You better think
It
again.
does. It
I should
does.
have one of them bottles of water for hard times right now because when he was doing it, I could have had it. Take this water from 10 years ago. Put something together. Could have poured it on myself, and I wouldn't even need the Manjaro if I had been thinking. In the name of Jesus on this waistline. Now do it, Jesus. But that I used the whole case on him.
Well, the last question I want to ask, unless anybody else has anything, is we actually did this on a podcast, but I just want to ask it here. Finish this sentence. Love is
Who, me?
yeah.
Love is when you asked that before, I went into the scripture. But love, man, love is so I think it's different for different people. But to me, if I had to sum it up in, I don't even think I could sum it up in one word. But I think that love is first long suffering, because dealing with people and trying to love them and trying to be patient with them sometimes, man, listen, true. So I would say love is long suffering, and I'd say that love is patient. Sums up love for me, because you have to be able to be patient with people. And when I say long suffering, it's because you're going to have to be patient over and over and over and over again. It's always something that comes up, something that says, something that happens that you have to just be like, okay, oh, they didn't got on my nerves, they didn't said whatever, but in response, I am still going to have to be patient with the situation. And it's hard to do that, especially now in the 20 and 25, because I be wanting to take, anyways. Next person.
Long suffering. Go ahead, Minister.
I was gonna say love is an action word. So Sheree is not a mushy person. I can't tell you the last time. I don't even know if we've ever said I love you. I don't know if we ever have been like, shut up. Like I think the last time I physically touched her was when we were standing at the front at Mom's funeral. The last time I physically hugged her, we were standing at the front of the church. Remember that? Like it was our last time to view her. I think that was the last time like I physically hugged her. But there's an understanding. She is who she is. I am who I am. Like I said, we know too much about each other. I know where her bodies are too. And I know all about the other bodies. What'd you say?
And they're stacked high.
But I know just our experiences over the years. When I packed up for the 10th time to leave so-and-so, and I had to go bring all 4 kids in tow to stay in her 2-bedroom Section 8 housing apartment. Mm-hmm. It wasn't no thing. Hey, I'm coming and I'm there. I know she would go to the ends of the earth for me. I would the same for her. She gave me away at my wedding, and that's real talk, because she was like my baby daddy. No disrespect to anybody, but like I would call her first and be like, Olivia did this, Robbie did that, blah blah blah. So we've had a lot of changes over the years of our relationship. I know I've only been married for 2 weeks in her mind. Mm-hmm. But things have changed, and it is what it is. Like I had to make some changes. She can't be the first person I go to. It's only certain things that I can take to her, because she's going to be Team Sharon. Now she loves Richard, but it's only certain things because we ride or die for real. And a lot of people don't value that soldier. And so it grieves my heart when I hear people say, I haven't talked to my sister in 5 years. What? I cannot not talk to this child for 5 days. If I don't hear from her in 24 hours, hello? Hello? What's going on? What you doing? Everything all right? She knows my patterns. She knows I'll fall back and just go into the abyss or whatever. And she let me do my thing. But after a while, it's like, I had an incident several years ago, and she just showed up and was like, hey, listen, You haven't slept for 3 days. Either you going to the hospital or you going to a hotel. What's happening? Okay, I'm going to the hotel. Like, get yourself together. Like, what's happening? We hold each other accountable. I don't always like her because she talks real reckless. And sometimes I'll be like, stop. I don't always agree. Plenty of times I'm like, you're an idiot. That's the dumbest thing you ever could have said. I don't like where this is going. Talk to you tomorrow. All right, then. That's how we end the phone conversation. All right, then. But at the end of the day, it's got to be all love. When you are, let's see, I was 7. No, I was 9. So when you are 8 and 6, and your primary caregiver is flown to Johns Hopkins, and words like stroke and lupus and surgery and all these other kind of terms, and you have to watch your primary caregiver basically relearn how to write and speak and walk and all these kind of things. A bond is formed that can never be broken.
Mm-hmm.
You have no choice. So I think in God's sovereignty, he knew what he was doing behind that. So here we are. Because we're alike, but we're very much so different still. But I know that was kind of a rant, but I admire Sharaya. I do. Shut up! Don't do that. I do. I admire her. I admire her, the way she goes to bat for her children. I admire. We didn't even talk about her own health challenges, which I'm just on the outside of. That's a whole nother episode, but we have a lot of serious conversations. We have a lot of stories. We have a lot of things in common. Sometimes when we talk and she recalls the part of the story and I'm like, dang, that did happen. Like, wow. Like even the situation with my mom, like I had spent the night at her house. And Robbie, I think you were with AJ for some reason. And I had left Olivia there. I went home to go to a yard sale. I'm out here trying to save the world. And so the last thing I said to my mom was, all right, I'll be back. Livy, you staying? Yeah, I want to stay with Pokey. Okay. All right, I'll see y'all later this afternoon. I'll be back. And that was it. The next thing I said to her was, Mom, if you're tired, you can go home. And that was that. So family is important to us. Like y'all being around her growing up and her being at all the functions, like that's important. It's important for me to be there for my nephews. I wish I could be there more, but they're older now. So, I can call them and hit them up or whatever. Like all family is important to both of us. And so when we, tried to put on the family reunion and try to be involved and try to, like my mom was that person. My mom knew everybody's birthday, anniversaries. She remembered just all the things. And we haven't been able to pick that up, but we try. We try to keep people connected. Like we owe Uncle Bobby a call because I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke from the elders. I ain't talked to him about 4 days. So definitely gonna give him a call. But we grew up in the same house. We had the same experience. They tell us we have the same father, so we got to get that DNA test finalized. But anyway, like it's like we have no choice but to keep this connection. And she is who she is, and I don't know anybody stronger. I don't know no 15-year-old. Show me another 15-year-old who can push out an 8-pound 4-ounce baby with no medication.
No medication. You snap.
I knew right then. I was like, oh, this broad is different. She built different, literally.
Yeah.
But, we all have a past. We all, have things that we can share. But I've learned a lot from her. I hope that she'll learn some things from me. But I know that she sells herself short. And she always expects for people to go hard for her as much as they do for her. It's no way possible. It's nobody that can go hard for Sharaya as hard as she goes for anybody else. Ain't nobody. So I'd be like, you be expecting stuff from people and it's just not going to happen. So we have some very deep conversations. We have some very surface level. Girl, you remember T-Bone?
Listen, pork chop in the T-bone, chilling with pork chop in the.
No other words. See, that's what I'm saying. I can say three, and you remember three words, and we gone. We off into a whole nother story.
Listen, because they was thugs. Remember they gave me the sawed off shotgun to hold.
We got stories.
Listen,
we got stories.
I had the sawed off shotgun in the house because he asked me could I hold it, and I was like, yeah, I had it wrapped up in a sheet, and he lived one door over. And then Norman found it and told me to take it back because you can't hide a sawed off shotgun. It's all over the place. It's in your closet just chilling.
So but see, I can't talk about that kind of stuff now because I'm a good minister. But so when we be trying to school y'all as adults, like we're not glamorizing, we're not trying to put it out there like we were some whatever. We're not trying to be nothing. But we done seen some stuff and we done had to handle some stuff.
I think we try to be real because people didn't talk real to us. It was like, don't have sex, but I know that you're having sex. So I'm confused.
And then once it happened, we were like, this is sin? You telling me that's sin? I'm supposed to feel bad about that? But I don't.
Sin is great. Send me down. Send my leg back this way. Sin.
You got to bring that. You have to bring that from a different perspective. And I think as generation to generation, like I'm not making light of fornication at all. I'm not whatever.
No,
it happens. But you have to be real about it. You have to bring to the generation that sin feels good.
That do.
You do. And like I said, nobody, everyone whispered around us about sex. They just said we shouldn't do it. But they didn't give us a basis for what the reason was. But we know that they were doing it. We had the evidence. So that's why I talk so, I guess you could say I talk so raw because I want y'all to hear the stuff from us because we got our knowledge from the streets because everybody was too safe to talk about sex, but they were doing it. So then, but Pookie over here said it was really nice and I should try it. And I was like, for real? Well, let's go. So we try to always just keep it real with y'all because nobody kept it real with us. And everybody was using code words and ding-a-ling. Who said, why would y'all call it that? Where did that come from? Who's called it ding-a-ling first? Like, I don't know. That was a weird word. I gotta look it up now. Somebody got to let me know who started calling it ding-a-ling.
It's probably
but they would say, don't let the boys put their ding-a-lings in you. And I was like, well, what is that? What is it? Show me a picture of it. What does it look like? You know what I mean? Because what are we talking about?
Yeah. And then when you go to the where was we at the Brownies meeting, and the people pulled somebody pulled the boys' pants down.
Yes. So then we saw a ding-a-ling, and then we're like,
that looks interesting. Hey.
And it's just chilling. And why does it look like? And what's it do? And I'm 5 and you're what, 7? And here is a man because they were like teenagers, so he was like a man's ding-a-ling just hanging, and we're like, wow, what's that do? Like, we just listen. We got stories, man. Like
we were exposed to a lot of things at a young age.
Mostly sex.
So that's why we try to keep y'all in this bucket and not staying over people's houses and all that other kind of stuff. Like
even family members. Let's put that out there.
Because I don't know what they be doing.
That's why I learned the most about sex from my family members.
Gosh, where's my tea? Anybody got another tea bag? Listen, I know we off the kilter, but y'all know, Robbie, you know by now how we be and the kind of conversations we have.
Two sides of the hard life.
Listen, because one thing we are both passionate about is children and children being parented well and children being loved appropriately and not being taken advantage of. I think that's one of the most heinous things is to lead a child astray, touch a child in the wrong manner, to not be there for your child.
Because that's happened to both of us with family members.
Yeah, because when we were coming along, it was like, oh, stranger danger. But no, this is people we know. That's Deacon so and so. Deacon so and so. We see him every Sunday. He must be cool. Until he kisses you in the mouth. I wasn't gonna go there, but I did. I wrote about it in a book. But he's not a stranger, so this must be okay. Oh, okay. I know this. Yeah, that's a little uncomfortable, soldier. That's the uncomfortable kind of talks that.
Let's not even talk about the church conventions. Hello, because we were not at church at those conventions.
We had a hotel room. It was at the Mosey Mosey. The convention was at the Mosey Mosey. So we had a room.
To let 3 teenage girls have a room at the church convention, they was not being led by the Lord. I'm telling you. Because
so soldier, we not letting our daughters have no hotel rooms when we on
no.
the
They're gonna way or another, bro. If they want it, they're gonna get it.
It's facts. It could be a car. It could be up against a tree. It don't matter.
Compromising situations, brother. So the way I'll say it is, I'll be the type to try to be more like how they're saying, real, and guide you. I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what can happen from it. I'll tell you the pros and the cons. It feels good, but for the next 18 years of your life, you got a little more.
Not 18.
It's
The rest of your
18.
life.
I got a 24-year-old in here.
I'm
Carrying
crying.
on.
It'd be like that. It do be like that. But
No,
like,
sorry. I was just gonna say. Sorry to cut you off, soldier. I was just gonna say one of the things I've always told my kids is, if you can't talk to me, please go to Sheree. Please, you have to tell somebody. Because don't call me. This is a collect phone call from. I'm not the one to call because I'm gonna leave you there. Sheree's gonna come get you.
I'm gonna come right up there with my bag of pennies. I'm gonna be counting them out.
Sheree's coming. I am not. You're gonna learn this lesson. You're gonna sleep in that cold. You're gonna have them bracelets on. Yeah, they're gonna take you. They're gonna take your shoelaces and do a cavity search.
So I got a story about that. And soldier, I want you to think one of your best memories of Mom Ray, if you can. So I remember Mom Ray had me and Olivia in the car, and she was driving, and I don't know if she was expecting us to say no. She was like, "Are you guys having sex?" We both were like, "Yeah." She was like, "What? Woohoo!" And she was like, "You got to tell your mom." I was like, "Should have said nothing. I should have said no." She was like, "Have you told your mom yet?" I was like, "No, we're not telling our mom." But she was like, "If you don't tell her, I'm gonna tell her." I was like, dang.
I know how that feels.
It must feel like the time when I told your mom you was entertaining in some the botanical, and she did
a statement to me.
You said what?
That's what you told me. Tell your mom. You gave me a week. Tell your mom, or I'm gonna tell her in a week. That's what you.
That's what I said. And then when I tell her, like the next day.
No. About the whole garden situation. That's a whole nother thing. About getting jiggy in the bedroom there. Yeah, I was scared all week. I waited for my mom to come home. She worked the overnight shift, so I waited for her to get home, all tired and stuff, and I just sprung it on her. Yeah, Mom, I'm having sex. But like, I think that was the chillest I ever seen my mom. She looked at me. She was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Don't get nobody pregnant." I said, "Okay." Next thing I know, the next day she got me a bag of condoms.
Hey, just like that.
Nah, I remember my mom brought me condoms. I wasn't even having sex yet. I'm like, "Man, look, what do y'all think this is?"
Care.
You got to
I don't care. Hey, listen. Here's this cucumber. Practice putting it on, please. Let's go. Don't bring no babies in this house because you was. I'm about to make somebody mad. You were into individuals who couldn't use our cone. So that's a whole nother conversation. I was just concerned about that. We lived in Caroline County. Hello. I was concerned. I don't look outside and see a cross burn on the lawn.
So moving on to more.
What'd you say? On the field?
Still, to this day, there could possibly be a cross on down there. We'll have
I ain't gonna be no cross. They're gonna shoot somebody. Man,
Jesus.
they got the orange man in office. They more bold.
Oh Lord.
Listen, they're going to knock at the door. The feds. You cannot say that type of stuff on these things. They're gonna shut us all down.
Well, my best memory I have of my own Rhea is my last football game against North Carolina, and she showed up with Samir Simon and Uncle Sam, and they was on the sideline, and it was just nice for real. Because I think the last game she came to, it was against Cambridge, and we got whooped. But she got me a Great Wall laughter, so it was a good night.
Oh.
That's dumb.
But no, it's against. Go ahead.
You were when I came down there, and I think it was that you got hurt that night.
Oh, when I was at Pop Warner, and I fractured my ankle.
You was at Colonel, and something happened.
Gosh,
But I remember one game where you had got the ball, and I don't even know if anybody remembers this. I was running along the sidelines because you was right down the field. I was like, get out the way! Get out the way! Get out the way! And I was running right along with you. all big and out of breath. I was needed medical.
You need to O2.
Sam, give me that pump. But I was so excited because I was like, he gonna make a touchdown, and I was pushing people off this on the sideline, just moving by the way. Move this kid. I'm just running right along with you down the side, looking crazy. Yeah, man. Listen, I was touched that y'all chose to make me one of y'all guests and stuff. I just try to be real. I try to be who Sharon raised me to be, who God wants me to be. I don't always make the mark. I would like to though, but I just don't. But I try to be consistently authentic. Some of the things Sharon said about me tonight, she ain't never said the whole time we've been sisters. It touched me in my heart for real. Just real deep, Shrek. But I have fun. I hope that when people see the podcast, they learn about me. I hope people who don't know me always be like, oh my God, you're so quiet. And I'd be like, you don't even know. You have no idea.
No.
And a couple of weeks ago, the lady was like, don't talk to so-and-so because they get real mean and they're going to get up in your face. And I don't want you to be afraid. I told the lady, listen, sis, you don't even know who you're talking to. Me? Afraid of who? Him? Anyways, so I hope people learn. I hope they can see that I love to laugh. I love people. I love serving people. That is my calling. I've known that since forever. I serve them not only in the house of the Lord. I serve in my community. I serve at my job. I think that people should serve somewhere. Don't just be a person seen doing your works in church. You should be also, people should know you in the community is my thing. That's a whole nother discussion. I think that most people will enjoy it. I think I might be too raw for some people. But like Sharon said, we got a lot of experiences. We didn't darn near seen it all, done it all. If we haven't done it, we've been accused of it for sure. Mm-hmm. I remember they tried it. Me and Shanika Parker was close for years.
She done commented. You gotta go check the comments.
And we were so close, they thought that we were seeing each other. So the word on the street was we was lesbians.
Oh Lord.
Hey, Miss Pink.
And so listen, we didn't heard it all, done it all, almost seen it all, almost done it all. So listen, we love to live, and we've lived, I think, full lives to the most part. And I told Robbie, I said, I think that me and Sharon should come on. I was like every quarter with you guys because there's just a lot that people don't know. And I think that they have perceptions of, like you said, most people know you. You've always been out front in front of the community supporting this thing. Every Saturday, you got a tent and some brochures going somewhere. But that is true. You always got a tent and brochures going somewhere. But I just, I'm just honored that you guys chose me. And just because I'm your aunt, I didn't feel like you had to. But I like that you and Soldier. I like what y'all doing. The setup, even though we're relatives, you've handled things professionally. I've gotten updates, and this is what I'm doing. This is how things are being handled. It's not no sloppy, I'm gonna just get up and throw something together. You're being thorough. You're sending out reminders. You're asking questions ahead of time, so that now sometimes in the podcast, he would ask a question, I'd answer it totally off, and then I'd be like, crap. But it is what it is. But I had a ball. I really did. But I just think that there's so many things that Sharon and I could unpack for you guys down the road. You think you know your mother? You have no idea. You have no idea. She is a good girl, though. I'm telling you, her sins is this big.
That's not
about
true.
five.
That's not true. That's not
5.5
true.
worth of sins. I got them by the truckload outside. Okay, trust by the truckload. But for the grace of the Lord, listen.
By the grace of God. By the grace of God.
By the grace of God. Because listen. That's the reason. That's the reason we are still here. Because even though we laugh, it's been a lot of bad things that have happened to us, a lot of bad experiences. So, sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying about things. The thing with Mother was one of those things that, even though it's been now 14 years, and that's crazy to say, 14 years.
That's crazy.
God, it's been 14 years. When like it's getting ready to be holiday times and stuff, that little knot in your throat comes up, and you're like, man, here goes another Christmas where I would not get a pack of panties, because that's what Mom would buy me.
And would.
Hey, look.
So
that was one of the first things Layla, one of them asked after like, well, who's gonna buy us underwear for Christmas? I think it was probably Layla.
And that's why I asked for socks and underwear. Because I ain't gonna lie, as an adult, people don't understand. Socks and underwear is hard to come by.
That is hard to come by.
And they're expensive. For my big drawers, they're like $20 for the pack. I feel like doing like back in the day and stealing a couple pair. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord working on me. The Lord is
Soldier,
working
do you
on
have a
me.
memory or no?
Not that I can really remember that would be my favorite per se. It's always a good time around y'all.
Yes,
Appreciate it. Well, thank you for tuning in to Two Sides of the Heart Live. We live, baby.
Check it out tomorrow.
Episode 23 coming out tomorrow at 2 p.m. on the Two Sides of the Heart YouTube.
I gotta look at it myself.
What'd you say?
Don't hit me on the inbox. If I said it, I said it. I don't need no reprimands about nothing I said. I'm grown. I'm gonna put that out there nice and early.
I'm here for it.
I said it. Here we are.
Hey. Well, thank you for tuning in. Have a good night.
See ya.